What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Saturday. It is May 4th, and we are back with a full Saturday slate, breaking it down, hopefully, like you've never seen before. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do have giveaways every single day, and we try to make you the best DFS player we possibly can. And I want to show you one of our subscribers who threw this into our Discord 2 days ago. So right here, $20,000, second place, $20,000. This is a winner, making better DFS players, whether or not you use our advice and that's it, whether or not you sign up for FTA Plus on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. This is what we want to see. This makes me happy that I am able to, hopefully, I don't know if this is going to change lives completely, but I mean, $20,000 is a nice chunk of change. So another thing, if you change your avatar to our picture right here and you take down a tournament first place, we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. But $20,000 is nice. So again, congratulations. Hopefully, there's many more of you guys to come in the near future. So if you've never been here before, we have 2 giveaways every single day. First one, like the video, be a subscriber, and just leave a comment. If the video gets at least 50 likes, you'll have a chance to win a free month of FTA Plus. Or a free week. 100 likes is a free month. 150 likes is a free $200 year of FTA Plus. And 200 or more likes on this video or any other video, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. So we are going to see who the winner from yesterday's video is. So this one will be the winner. We had 73 likes, so it'll be a free week of FTA Plus. So, and you can win every single day. So come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So let's check out who the winner is right here. Extract Sniper, good morning and good luck. Congratulations. If you're seeing this, hit the like button on this and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp1@gmail.com with a username and email you would like, and we will get you set up for that free week. Now, that free week will include a week of whatever sports we're doing. So, currently MLB, NASCAR, PGA. I don't know if we're going to continue with NBA. It just depends on how it's going, because it's basically 2 games a night for the most part, and that's it. So, we're looking into that. I'm also going to test MMA this weekend. So we used to do MMA, took it away because not a lot of people. There seems like there is some interest in it. So if you guys are watching this video and you play MMA DFS, let me know down below too. I need to know. I'm going to test the some things I'm doing in the background, and if they do well this weekend and they move forward, we might bring it back. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. PGA, NASCAR is tomorrow too. So it's a Saturday slate. It's one of those where it's split up into 3 different slates, which, whatever. We can play it that way. The early slate consists of 7 games. The afternoon slate consists of 2. And then the night slate consists of 6. So it's what we've got to go. And if you've never been here before, we do things a little bit differently. So we're going to go through each and every game. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the bats in those games as well. So just to go right off top, just looking at the Vegas odds as of the making of this video, we've got the Orioles versus the Reds with the highest implied team total. Great American Small Park, you got an over-under of 9.5. We have a couple over-unders of 9, 9.5. So kind of some games there. And just depending on, and these will change a little bit, but this is a good indication of what you can look at. So look at the teams with implied runs, and you could kind of build your stacks along that way. Another one is the ballpark rankings. So this is part of the channel as well. You can go in there and you can go see it, depending on, you've got, if you want to see who, what ballpark has given up the most amount of home runs, you do it here. Tropicana Field's actually given up 46 home runs. I'm assuming that's mostly to the opposing teams because Tampa Bay has been bad overall this year. They rank 4th overall right now. Minute Maid Park has 42. Dodger Stadium 41, which makes sense. So you can go through here. Again, not all these are only the active ballparks for this slate. So you can go through there. You can take that. You can look at the MLB odds, and you can kind of filter down your ballparks that way to give you, let's say, 5 or 6 games you want to look at, and then build around that way. And just looking at some of the other ballpark factors, Great American Ballpark has a fantastic option today for home runs. It's got the best odds at plus 30%, plus 14% for runs. They think there's going to be runs in that game, and so does Vegas. Chase Field, wind is blowing out, whether or not the dome or the stadium is open or not. It's got an update here this morning for 18% chance of doubles and triples. PNC Park, Colorado at Pittsburgh, a 13% chance for doubles and triples as well. So at the end of this video, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So we run simulations every single day. Those are running in the background right now. When that is done and the video is done, we will give you the top 20 bats. Those will change and update throughout the day, so that is why I tell you to check that out. But again, with the slates being pretty much all day long, we'll update that when we can. So that being said, if you have questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. In the description of this video is not only today's link to this article from FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, it's also the link to our Discord channel, which you can get in. We give you core plays there. We give you some stacks we like. We answer questions. We do sports betting. We do that there. Go check that out. And also, we have partnered up with DFS Hero. So the link is in the description. If you sign up and you deposit money, you get your free trial and you get a monthly pass. Let us know, and we'll give you a free month of FTA Plus on top of that. It's a great optimizer. You can plug and play our plays, update them with these projections, run the stacks. It's really easy, especially if you are one that wants to multi-enter. So go check that out. If you sign up for DFS Hero for a year, we're going to give you a free year of FTA Plus too. So go check it out. So we do have some weather concerns. If we look at this, Miami, Oakland, rain a little bit. We've got a little bit of rain in Colorado, Pittsburgh. Same thing with Cleveland, Cincy. So this is one of those days where be a little bit cautious. There are possibility of weather concerns today. So looking at the first game, Tigers at the Yankees, we've got Casey Mize versus Clark Schmidt. Mize, 14 plate appearance, 154, really hasn't seen much. Same thing with Schmidt, 46 plate appearances, 279. So Schmidt has been good this year through the first 5 innings. Then it kind of falls off in the 6th inning, which this is another one, if it'll do it. So I just wanted to show you, if you were to go to Baseball Savant and you were to dig in, and this is how deep you want to go into this rabbit hole, you can come down here. You can see all of his pitches, what they do. You can come down even further. What is good, I mean, there's a ton, like if you don't get into that, but we can look into expected home runs by ballparks, his pitch tempo, his pitcher running game. Like, there's so much to go into in this game. It's crazy. You can dig in. You can go to such as, I mean, if you just look, I mean, all of these applications for each and every player, which is nuts. So if you want to look at like 3D pitches or Illustrator, pitch highlighter, pitch mix, it's crazy what you're able to do. I don't know what really Plinko is, but you just look at like 3D pitches, and it brings it into here, and it just shows you where his pitches are, where they go, when it loads. It's nuts, all of the things that they're able to actually do. Let me find something real quick. Okay, so I was going to dig into the rabbit hole, but the video would be way too long. So you can go in, you can type the player, you can check them out. It kind of shows the breakdown of how the pitchers do in each and every inning, whether or not it's a day game, night game, home, away. There's a ton to go over. If I did that for every single pitcher on this slate, we would be in trouble. So it would take a very long time. So we're not going to dig into that. We are just going to do our normal thing. If you guys want to see certain things in these videos, let me know. I definitely want to check that out. So we look at this. Casey Mize is down here at 7,100. 3.08 ERA coming into this game. I mean, he's had 2 good games and then 3 not so good games. He's pitched good to some teams that he shouldn't. And then like Pittsburgh, he didn't do anything. The Mets, he didn't do anything. Kansas City, he didn't do anything. You're looking right around 5 to 6 innings out of him. Now, we saw the Yankees. There was no runs in this game for a long time. Then Detroit put up a run in the 5th inning off a walk. And then the Yankees came and rallied in the 9th inning. Just had a great 9th inning. Casey Mize, he's a stud when he's healthy. He's been hurt a lot. 3.08 ERA, so not a bad. Its strikeouts haven't been there. So depending if the Yankees ride that 9th inning and come into this game, they could score a lot of runs. Now Detroit is up and down here. So you got Schmidt, 3.19 ERA, which is great, 34 strikeouts, game logs. The problem is he doesn't go past the 6th inning. He gets into the 6th inning, and then his pitch count goes up, which you can see. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know what it is. So basically, if you're using Schmidt at 8,400, expect 5 to 5.2 innings, and then he gets pulled. I've watched every single game he's pitched this year. It's basically what happens. He gets in there, gets some walks, does well for the first 4 innings, 5 innings, gets to the 6th, walks a couple people, gets pulled, the bullpen comes out and saves him normally. Other than that, though, he's been really good except for the first start. Really good against Baltimore, Oakland, Tampa Bay, Cleveland. So I don't mind him as a pitcher. Just remember, most likely, 6 innings going to come around. Nothing's going to happen. For him anyway. Batting-wise, the bats that I would look at. If you're not going with Schmidt, Matt Vierling, Riley Green is a stud for me. You could look at Winfield Perez a little bit. You could look at Kerry Carpenter, Mark Canha, especially in this ballpark. I don't mind them. Yankees bats, Juan Soto. Aaron Judge has looked lost. I don't know what's going on with Judge. He's looked lost at the plate, but he's going to, hopefully bring it on. He's an option. Stanton had a nice double. I was his first. They said it was his first hit. Yesterday was his first hit of the year of a pitch 97 miles an hour or more, which is kind of crazy. He doesn't catch up to a lot of them. Maybe he's looking good. Volpe's really fell off lately. I don't know if I'd trust him enough. Verdugo, I would look at. Got that dad power, just had a baby. Gleyber Torres, maybe. He's looked lost too. So the other ones, I would look at Trevino or I would look at Austin Wells, depending on who is starting at catcher for the Yankees today. Next game, Red Sox at the Twins. Brennan Bernardino versus Pablo Lopez. So I don't know much about Bernardino. 4,000, is he a bullpen dude? Yeah, he's a bullpen. So it's going to be a bullpen game for him. It's an opener. So I don't trust that at all. Do they have a long relief guy or is it just they don't? So yeah, you can't trust him. He's going to go 1 inning and that's it. You got Pablo Lopez, 38 plate appearances, 194. I do like Pablo Lopez. So I would definitely look at Pablo Lopez. I would look at I wouldn't look at Bernardino. Also, the bats right now don't jump out to me. We finally hit the Byron Buxton. Here's the 3 things that are a certainty in life: death, taxes, and Byron Buxton on the IL. Hit the IL yesterday. It shouldn't come as a shock to you. So the bats wise, if you were to take bats, because you don't trust them, I still love Pablo Lopez here though. Twins bats against Bernardino and or whoever comes in from the bullpen. Kirilloff, Christian Vasquez back at his old stomping grounds or against his old team, not at Fenway. Edward Julian, I'd look at. Carlos Santana. You got Kepler and Correa. Kepler's really not done much, so you could look at Correa, possibly a little bit of Willie Castro as well. White Sox at the Cardinals. Eric Fedde versus Lance Lynn. Stack the Cardinals. Take Lance Lynn against the White Sox. It's his former team. One of his former teams anyway. 2.64 ERA for Lynn, 29 strikeouts, 140 whip. Has not faced the White Sox this year, but he's done well. If you look at splits-wise, he's pitching at home. Does have a higher ERA at home, but the White Sox are bad. They are very, very bad. Bad. So that's kind of one that I would look at. I don't trust Lance Lynn enough for cash, so if I'm playing this at all, I would look at Lance Lynn for a tournament pitcher. Cardinals bats, Burleson, Lars Nootbaar. Arenado, Wilson Contreras. These are the guys I would look at if I'm actually going to stack. You get Brendan Donovan as well if I'm going to stack against Eric Fetty. 21 plate appearances, 421 batting average. I mean, not very many plate appearances, but the White Sox are just bad. So take your Lance Lynn in tournaments and take a Cardinals stack. Brewers at the Cubs, Tobias Myers versus Jameson Taillon. Taillon, 41 plate appearances, 237 batting average in his career against them. And he does come in here. 150 ERA. He's had 3 starts this year. His best start came against the Mets, which we took him in that game because it was in New York. Only 78 pitches, 13.5, but only 1 earned run. The problem, the strikeouts are low for him. That's my problem. I'm probably off of Taillon just because he's not striking out enough people for me. And Milwaukee can hit. They really can. Milwaukee that I'd be looking at would be William Contreras, Willy Adames, Rhys Hoskins right off the bat. Those would be my 3 that I would start with. Cubs have also been hitting. So we look at Tobias Myers. 450 ERA, 2 starts. 1 was against the Yankees. They've gone 5 innings both games. 4 earned runs against them. But again, they were on fire that series. They put up 30 runs in the last 2 games. Really hasn't done much. And the Cubs have been hitting very well. The Cubs bats that I would look at. Chris Morel has been on fire lately. And yeah, at the top of the list. I would look at him. I would look at Mike. You could look at Tauchman a little bit, tournament-wise. Michael Bush is another one. Dansby Swanson's one. It just depending on the lineup that comes out there. You could look at Pete Crow Armstrong if he's in there. Miguel Amaya if he's starting at catcher today. Ian Happ. Like, there's a lot of ways to go about it. And like I said, Brewers, William Contreras, Willy Adames, Rhys Hoskins. Then, if you want to do a full stack, a Blake Perkins or a Bryce Terang or Oliver Dunn. I love Oliver Dunn. He's a sneaky under-the-radar option most slates, and he doesn't do too bad. Rockies at the Pirates. You got Austin Gomber versus Jared Jones. It's a weird early slate when Jared Jones is the highest priced pitcher. He's 9,300. He's got a 3.18 ERA, 42 strikeouts, .91 WHIP. He's been doing well. Has not faced Colorado this year. The only bat that I would have any exposure to for Colorado would be Ryan McMahon. None other ones really scare me. And we see Jared Jones. He is coming off his worst start in San Francisco. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. So his lowest amount of strikeouts, had 83 pitches in that game. So he's in there. He's in there to win it. 7.1 fantasy points. But he's got a great matchup here. Dominated the Brewers, dominated the Mets, dominated the Phillies, dominated Baltimore. He's dominated everyone except San Francisco. If we look at this splits-wise, he's pitching at home, where he does have a better ERA of 2.25. He's averaging 2.6 more fantasy points per game at home. 2 less games, so 14 strikeouts less. I don't mind Jared Jones at all. I don't know if I try. I mean, the target you're looking for is basically 2.5 times value. So 9,300. Right around 9. His price is 9,300. So you want to take that times 2.5. So you're looking right around 23.25 fantasy points would be what you're averaging or what you're looking for when you're taking a lot. So, he's a little under that. But if you did 2 times value, you would be doing pretty well there. So I don't mind Jared Jones. Cash or tournaments I'm okay with. I don't love, but I'm okay with it. And then the bats in this one that I would look at, Kutch, Cabrian Hayes, Jared Triolo, O'Neal Cruz. You could look at a little bit of Rowdy Tellez maybe. Michael A. Taylor usually clobbers lefties. That's another one that you could look at. So there are a lot of different ways. Connor Joe's another one if he's in there. He usually hits lefties well. Whether or not he plays, we'll see. So yeah, I don't mind Pirates as a stack. I don't mind Jared Jones. I don't want Austin Gomber. And really the only Rocky bat that I would even consider is Ryan McMahon. Blue Jays at the Nationals, Kevin Gausman versus Jake Irvin. Love me Gausman here. He's the picture of the video and the article that is connected in the description of this video. I kind of just like with Kikuchi. We had Kikuchi yesterday. He did very well. Gave up 1 earned run. Then the bullpen came in and absolutely just got demolished. So I think Gausman has a good start. Whether or not the bullpen screws him over, we will see. But the bats that I don't really know bats at the moment. I guess if we're digging in a little bit, the bats for the Blue Jays would be Guerrero, Schneider, Danny Jansen, Justin Turner, maybe a little bit of George Springer. If Gausman has a good game and then the bullpen comes in and blows it, the Nats bats I would look at would be Garcia, Riley Adams, C.J. Abrams, Eddie Rosario, maybe a little bit of Trey Lipscomb or Jesse Winker as well. But I do love me some Kevin Gausman today. So if you were to just look at the box score from yesterday, you would think, oh, Blue Jays screwed it up. But no, it was their bullpen. It was not Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi had a quality start, had a good game, gave up 1 earned run, and then the wheels just fell off for Toronto. This is that movie they're talking about. This is that movie they're talking about. So that's where I would look at in this one. I mean, you could throw Jake Irvin in tournaments, I guess. Comes in 4.28 ERA, 26 Ks. Splits wise, pitching at home, he does have a highly 8.44 ERA. So only 2 starts, but almost 4 times as higher ERA there. Yeah. Bad game against the Dodgers, which it's the Dodgers. That jumped up the ERA. And then 4 earned runs there. So he's had his fair share. Tournaments at 8,100, I don't mind him because I think everyone will be on the Blue Jays. You could look at Jake Irvin. Hopefully he gets that run support he needs. I'm not convinced he will, though. Then we've got the final game on the early slate. We've got Marlins at the Athletics, Trevor Rogers versus Paul Blackburn. Rogers has not faced, he's only faced 7 batters. Hasn't given up a run, 57.1 K. So that, I mean, it's obviously, that's 4 strikeouts. 4 out of 7 strikeouts is what that would be. And, Athletics did win yesterday. They are better than the Marlins. I don't recall a trade this early in the season, but Luis Arraez was a big bat that the Marlins lost yesterday, so he's obviously out. And then Paul Blackburn, 26 plate appearances, 333. I actually like Paul Blackburn in this one. It is a pitcher's park. We do look at him. He's down at 7,200, 334 ERA. Bad start against Baltimore, but other than that, he's had really good starts everywhere else. Now he's got a better matchup against a team that no longer has probably one of their best hitters. I don't mind Paul Blackburn. None of the bats jump out to me at the moment. So we will see once the simulations are done, we will see if those bats do jump out. So I will take a little bit of Blackburn. I could see Trevor Rogers in tournaments as well. The problem with Rogers, since he had a really good start to his career a few years back, he's not looked good. This year, he's had 1 good start against San Francisco, and that's basically it. So tournaments, you could go Trevor Rogers, but I think I'd rather go Paul Blackburn and then maybe look at some of the Oakland bats, like Tyler Nevin, Brent Rooker. These would be ones, Abraham Toro, those would be ones that we would look at after the fact. So that is the early slate. This is the turbo slate of 2 games. Giants at the Phillies. You got Keaton Winn versus Ranger Suarez. Keaton Winn, like I said, if you've been here before, I know his family. They live down the road. Ranger Suarez has gotten hit by them before. So I don't know if you're even going to play this game. I mean, there's 4 pitchers here. Ben Lively against the Angels, 2.30 ERA. That would be a pitcher that I'd look at. None of the bats for the Angels really scare me. They did put up some runs yesterday, but again, I would still look at Cleveland bats. I would look at Josh Naylor. I would look at Bo Naylor, Jose Ramirez. That's kind of what I'd look at. I mean, I don't trust Reed Detmers. The strikeouts have not been there as much as you would like lately. They started off well, and then they've tapered down to 4 and 3 each game. His K to walk is kind of good, but yeah, it's getting up there. Cleveland's been hitting the ball well. They just haven't been hitting home runs as much this year, or lately anyway. You got Ranger Suarez against San Francisco. 1.32 ERA is great for him. 40 strikeouts, 5-0 record. Had a really good game against Colorado, really good game against San Diego. He hasn't actually been that bad. It's just San Francisco hits lefties well. So if you were to look at San Francisco bats, let's see. Patrick Bailey, be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Matt Chapman, Jung-Ho Lee, Lamont Wade Jr., Jorge Soler against the lefty, I don't mind. Philly bats against Keaton Winn if we don't think he's going to do well. Schwarber, Trey Turner, Alec Bohm. Trey Turner was lifted from the game, though, yesterday. Yeah, day-to-day. Hamstring. That's the problem. Hurt his hamstring. I don't know if he'll be in this game. Did steal second and then scored from second, but then got pulled for a hamstring. So that could be a big bat that's out. Pay attention to that. But Alec Bohm has been one of the best hitters in baseball this year. Bryce Harper, Real Muto. Those would be ones that I'd look at. So with Trey Turner out, that takes away a big bat and a big price tag out of there. So I don't mind. Again, you got to get creative when there's 2 games, 4 pitchers. Any of them are in play today in this. But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of this early little afternoon slate. I doubt I play the slate at all. Probably not at all. If I play any of these players, it's because I'm sports betting, and that is it. So yeah, I do not like this little 2-game slate. Then we will move to the main slate. Orioles at the Reds, John Means versus Andrew Abbott. I don't trust Means making his debut. I just do not trust him at all coming into this game. We know that he's a stud when he's good. Is he on a pitch count? I mean, he got up to 95 in his start, so you never know. John Means could be a option here, but again, the weather's a concern. There's rain here. This has the highest over-under of all of the games as of now, and it is Great American Small Park. I would be looking at bats here. I can't trust either of these pitchers right now. Tournament-wise, you could throw them in there, but other than that, I would not. Bats-wise, Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westburg against the lefty. Jordan Westburg is a sneaky option every single day. Ryan O'Hearn just looks way better than what he has been, what he was in Kansas City. Mountcastle's another big bat. Colton Cowser has cooled off a little bit. And then Adley Rutschman would be another one. Reds bats against John Means. Ellie De La Cruz. Tyler Stevenson usually hits lefties very well. Spencer Steer, Will Benson. Those would be the 4 that I'd look at. And then you can go through. You can go CES. You could go Luke Maile, Candelario if you want to go 5 or more batters for Cincinnati. So, yeah, I'm going to avoid both pitchers. I will look at offenses here. Rangers at the Royals, Dane Dunning versus Michael Wacha. This is a pitcher's park in Kansas City. So we know when we look into that, that's kind of the expectation when you see it. Depending, I mean, you got Michael Wacha, 4.24 ERA, 28 strikeouts. Strikeouts are low, like 3 to 4 a game. He hasn't really done well. It would be Texas bats for me. I'm not looking at Michael Wacha. I won't have any exposure. Then Dane Dunning's also got a higher ERA. Coming off his best start, though, against Cincinnati, we actually took him against Cincy. He had 10 strikeouts in that game. Kansas City's been hitting well, though. Tournaments, I'm okay with Dane Dunning. I will not use him, but in tournaments, I could see other people using him. I probably Dunning in tournaments, but then I would focus on Texas bats in this game too. So kind of just looking at the bats, obviously Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Jonah Heim. He didn't play yesterday. I don't know if he's going to play today. He is a lot of blue here too, so use that for what you will. You could look at maybe Wyatt Langford, Leody Tavares. It just depends on who is going to be playing. Ezekiel Duran, I don't mind either. And then Royals, If you're not going Dane Dunning, Bobby Witt Jr., stealing bases, so still gets on, gets us those fantasy points there. Sal Perez is dominating ball right now. Vinny Pasquantino, Michael Garcia, those make sense. Cheaper options would be Freddie Fermin or Michael Massey if you want to complete that Kansas City stack. But Dunning, for tournaments, I'm okay with, but I kind of like Kansas City bats a little bit more. Mariners at the Astros, Logan Gilbert versus Framber Valdez. Gilbert, 142 plate appearances, 271. We know that the Astros have just looked not the best. And Houston did end up winning 5-3 yesterday, but they did not score their runs till the 7th inning into the bullpen. So I think people are still scared off of this Astros offense for whatever reason. Logan Gilbert has pitched very well this year. He's pitching on the road, 2.25 ERA. So his ERA is amazing this year. I do not mind Logan Gilbert at all. And then Framber Valdez, it just depends. This will be his 4th start of the year. Came off the IL against... or pitched against the Yankees, then got hurt after the Toronto game, 7.2 innings, and then was out for 3 weeks, almost a month, and came back 1 start in Colorado, 5 innings. So I don't know if he's gonna have a pitch count there. He pitched 71 pitches there, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. It looked like it was working. Seattle doesn't look like they've been hitting the ball very well this year. So if we look at the bats, I mean, Valdez for tournaments, I'm okay with. I think Logan Gilbert's your cash option. I think Framber Valdez is your tournament option. If you think Valdez is not going to do well, you could look at Julio, Ty France against a lefty, Mitch Garver against a lefty, Luke Raley, Mitch Haniger against a lefty, if you're going that route. Jorge Polanco is another one I would look at. Polanco just has not looked the best this year. Astros against Gilbert, if you don't trust Gilbert. Jordan, Kyle Tucker both lefties hit very, very well. Yainer Diaz is another one. You could look at Joey Loperfido. I don't know if he's done anything since getting called up. 2,800, he's averaging 6. Played 3 games. I mean, he's batting 364, but that's in 3 games. So cheap option at 2,800. I don't mind him. Lefty on righty matchup. If you want to go with an Astro stack, I don't mind that. I really don't. But yeah, I kind of cash option for Gilbert. Framber Valdez is your tournament option. Mets at the Rays. You got Christian Scott versus Zach Littell. So we look at Christian Scott here. Is he not here? He's not even on this list yet. He is right here at 7,500. So yeah, don't know anything about him. Trying to see. Yeah, tournaments at 7,500, I'm okay with. This would be one. They should show him soon, but Tampa Bay has looked bad. That is true. At that price, I'm okay with him. I just don't know anything about Christian Scott right now. And then Zach Littell, he comes in at 8,500, got a 3.27 ERA. He is going up against the Mets, though. He's done pretty well. I don't mind either of these pitchers. I think both are tournament options on this slate. I don't trust them. And honestly, the bats really don't jump out to me right now. We'll see if the simulations say anything and show us anything about what the bats might do. Then the last 2 games, Padres at the Diamondbacks, you got Michael King versus Brandon Pfaadt. King, 25 plate appearances, 174. Pfaadt, 30 plate appearances, 222. So we look at this. Michael King's down here at 6,700. Does have an elevated 5 ERA, so he had that really good no-hitter going into the 8th inning against Milwaukee, has really fallen off since then. 3.2 innings at Colorado, 4 earned runs. Philly gave up 6 earned runs. Now he's going up against Arizona. I do not trust him. That ERA is very high for me. I don't think I can trust him. Brandon Pfaadt's kind of the same thing. 4.63 ERA, 38 strikeouts, 111 whip. Coming off a great start at Seattle. Not a good one against the Cardinals. A good one against the Cubs. It's been up and down. If he follows the pattern it would be a down game for him. So I'm probably not using either of these pitchers. I'm probably looking at the bats in this one, especially on this slate. Is probably where I'd go. Tatis, Machado, Cronenworth, Jerks and Profar, Jackson Merrill, like these ones. You do have, I'm guessing Luis Ariz does not play in this game. He could. I'm guessing he does not. So Luis Ariz is probably out. If he's in, that would be a good option too. I don't think he's going to play in this game today. Arizona bats, Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker, Gabriel Moreno. I don't mind. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is another one. Corbin Carroll has looked bad this year. If we look at Corbin Carroll real quick. 48. I mean, his price is still up there. This is what I don't like about like DraftKings and stuff. They're basing his price on how he was last year. He's batting 192. He's got 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Yes. And he hasn't stolen a base since April 17th. I mean, his price has fallen. It was 5,900, like 6,000, 5,900 to start the season. He's just, I don't know. He's going through a sophomore slump. They dropped him in the batting order. I think he was batting 7th and 8th in his last 4 contests, where he was leading off or up at the top of the order. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they don't send him down, but yeah, he's kind of doing what who was the Seattle Mariner who won Rookie of the Year for the Mariners, then struggled, then they traded him. Why am I not remembering? I don't remember. If you can remember, let me know. He's just going through something. I don't know. I'm not going to use him until he rights the ship, so that I'm probably out there. Pitching-wise, I'm probably in the bats more than pitching. And then we got the Braves at the Dodgers. Got Bryce Elder versus Tyler Glasnow. So we look at this. Obviously, Glasnow's at the top, 10,400. He's expensive, 2.72 ERA. Killian Murphy here. I mean, yeah, he's had 2 good starts. He had a bad start against Washington. And then, other than that, he's had one, against San Diego, didn't really have the best start. Atlanta, they are a good hitting team, but Glasnow is a fantastic pitcher. That's what we'd look at. And then Bryce Elder, 150 ERA. He's actually done well, but it's 2 starts against Miami and Cleveland. Tournaments, you could throw him in there, but I'd rather focus on the Dodgers bats, to be completely honest with you. I don't want the Braves bats at the moment. Maybe we'll see what the simulations say, but I'd rather look at Ohtani. I would look at Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Freddie Freeman. It's going to be expensive to stack the Dodgers, but I think that's probably the way to go in this game. And then we've got the top 20 batters through 10,000 simulations. Like I said, so we've broken down all of the pitchers, all of the bats. Now we're going to see what the simulation's like at the moment. And it shouldn't come as a surprise. So here we go. These are the first 10,000. These will change and update after. But we've got Shohei Ohtani, number 1. Number 2 is Mookie Betts. Number 3 is James Outman. I would like to say when I suggested the Dodgers bats, I did not see the simulations. And the simulations are kind of connecting with what I said, so that's always a good feeling. Always go with your gut. Number 4 is Christian Walker. Number 5 is Max Muncy. 6 is Corey Seager. 7 is Yandy Diaz. 8, Vlad Guerrero. 9, Jack Sawinski. 10, Brian Reynolds. 11, Josh Bell. 12, Juan Soto. 13, CJ Abrams. 14, Jorge Polanco. 15, Adley Rutschman. 16, Freddie Freeman. 17, Anthony Santander. 18, Taylor Ward. 19, Riley Green. And number 20, Aaron Judge. So those are your top 20. They will change, but they will be on the website. Go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So yeah, the stacks that I'd like. Number 1 is the Dodgers. I don't think that should be a big surprise. Number 2, Baltimore against Abbott in the stadium that is projected to have the most amount of runs and home runs today. Number 3, just looking at what we've looked at, what we've seen, I kind of like the Pirates against Austin Gomber. Some form of Brian Hayes, Andrew McCutcheon, Brian Reynolds, Jack Sawinski, Triolo, Connor Joe, whoever's in this lineup, that's kind of an off-the-wall stack that might go under-owned today. So that's what I've got on this Saturday slate. If you liked it, hit the like button. We will be back tomorrow with another video. We will have our NASCAR content. Might even have a video for that. It just depends if my daughter gives me enough time to put out the article and the video. If we don't have a video, there will be an article, and we break it down with each plays that we like and the projections. Now, obviously, with NASCAR projections, anything can happen. With baseball, you kind of know like they're going to get at least 4 at-bats. The possibility of getting on base, stealing bases, getting you fantasy points. With NASCAR, 1 wreck and they are out. They're done for the day. So NASCAR is a volatile sport. It is hard. It is one of the hardest ones to project. Kind of with MMA, with what I'm found out in the past. A knockout could happen in 8 seconds, and there goes your lineup. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. Hopefully this started your Saturday off well, and hopefully we are able to bring home the bacon for you. Peace.